Hi folks, Joseph Kursky here to talk about one way I teach 2D and 3D mapping with a current event, or current events, and mapping tools, in this case ArcGIS Online and the 3D Scene Viewer. I have the students get the USGS data from the USGS Earthquake Center the last 30 days. I also have them add things like volcanoes, the ocean floor and the age of the ocean floor, also the rate of plate movement. So why do I do this? Not because more is better, but because I want them to look at the relationship between plate boundaries, the rate of plate movement, earthquakes, volcanoes, the plate boundaries themselves, the last 30 days of earthquakes, to look at the patterns, the relationships, because it's not just the GIS tools that we're teaching, it's the whys of where. Why, what's where, why is it there, and why should we care? Why should we care about earthquakes, volcanoes, plate movements? Well, because people and property are in harm's way. So we want to teach about these because people are impacted by these serious events, for example, earthquakes. Then I have them move the data into a 3D scene viewer. Why? Not just because the 3D scene viewer exists. That's only a part of a reason. It's very engaging, to be sure, and it's a useful skill to know how to manipulate data in 3D. But more importantly, it helps us visualize and understand patterns and relationships and trends in a deeper, richer way. Oftentimes 3D lets us do that in ways that 2D maps do not do. It also helps us understand, I think, in sort of a global way, in other words, the globe analogy, just like a physical globe in the classroom was useful for many years, and it still has its use. But these 3D immersive globes allow you to put data on top of them, oftentimes in real time or near real time, as in the case of earthquakes. Wow, look at the pattern of earthquakes in Greece, for example, versus Poland. Why do we have the distribution the way it is, and how does it change? So I could revisit this every 30 days and map the last 30 days. And now we're looking at the density off of China and Japan. Why is it so severe compared to other places around the world that have virtually very few or no earthquakes at all, for example, north of Kamchatka there? And we can also look at individual earthquakes, right? This is a GIS, so it's got attributes or data behind each one of these points, lines, polygons. We could overlay population density on there. We could change the base map to be, as I'm doing here, the ocean's base map, so we can see what the depth and the features of the ocean in these locations is and why that matters. Why do we care about earthquakes in the ocean? Well, what about tsunamis and people on the shore near tsunamis or even far away from tsunamis? So fascinating, but also very important to be able to do this at our fingertips. And since you've got a continuous feed in the case of earthquakes or wildfires or stream gauges or any other, most other phenomenon on the Earth's surface, you can see, okay, what's it like today? And what if we came back next month and did this again? What would it look like next month? We could also look at in this case, historical earthquakes or historical volcanic eruptions and compare them to today. Why is Australia, in this case, looking at this data, why is it relatively free of earthquakes as opposed to New Zealand? Well, there's a reason for it. Again, what's where, why is it there, and why should we care? And looking at it in 2D maps and 3D maps in the case of earthquakes and many other phenomenon, easy to do, powerful to do on the web, nothing to install with ArcGIS Online and the 3D Scene Viewer from Esri. So chances are your school, your university already has these tools at your fingertips. If not, you can contact me or my colleagues and we can help you get these tools so that you can use them in these powerful ways to teach content, the spatial perspective, and skills in GIS, analysis, communication, and much more. Thanks. You've got that table of data here, and we're going to be able to map and analyze every single one of these points, lines, and polygons. Thanks.